Hello friends, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman. Welcome back to the channel guys, I hope that all of you are doing well. Today I'm going to talk about scents that work great in the summer and at the same time offer a very good performance. So I've prepared a list of 12 such fragrances that I'm going to show you today. Before I start showing you the fragrances that I'm going to feature in this video today, I just wanted to quickly mention something out. Not all of the fragrances that I'm going to show you are necessarily freshies. Some of them have, more darkness, more sweetness to them, but still, in my opinion, work very well in the summertime. And the first few fragrances that I'm going to show you will come from Lattafa. The first one is called Ishq Al Shuk Silver, and this one is sort of a clone or fragrance that's heavily inspired by Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Lucky. In my opinion, this is not a direct clone of Lucky, although it carries quite a lot of that DNA. It's a very nice scent. This fragrance has a very nice scent. The opening is very fruity, also quite fresh. There's a ton of pineapple in the opening of this fragrance. There's some lemon and bergamot freshness. Get some spices. When this goes into the dry down, you're introduced to more sweetness from a strong vanilla note. There's some woodsy feels in this fragrance as well from a cedar wood note. All in all, this is a very interesting mix of citruses, fruits, vanilla and woodsy notes like the cedar wood note. It has a very decent performance, a very likable scent profile. It's a very versatile fragrance that works all year round in my opinion, but I think the best time to wear this one is during summer. The second one that I'm going to show you out of the house of Lattafa is more of a fresh one, and it's called Liam or Liam Blue Shine, as it's supposedly the full name of the fragrance. This one is a clone of Acqua di Gio Profondo. Again, maybe not a direct clone, but a fragrance that's definitely heavily inspired by the original scent. It has a very decent sprayer and it has a very fresh and likable scent profile. The opening is very citrusy, also feels a kind of green, slightly spicy. You get a nice amount of sort of an aquatic sea notes in the opening of this fragrance as well. It's a very fresh and very easy to wear fragrance. The dry down becomes a little bit more, sweeter. There's an amber sweetness in here, some musks, some woodsy notes on the dry down in here. All in all, pretty similar to the original fragrance, especially in the dry down. Performance-wise, at least on my bottle, has been very good, better than the original, especially when it comes to projection. Another very versatile, very likable scent, very masculine scent that can be worn pretty much all year round, and it's safe for any type of occasion, but the best time to wear this one, for me, again, I think is the summertime. And the last Lattafa fragrance that I'm going to show you is part of their Badir Al Oud line of fragrances, and it's called Honor and Glory. It comes in this white looking bottle. I really like the way that the bottle looks on this fragrance. And this is a very interesting and original creation from the house of Maison Alhambra, house of Lattafa, excuse me. It has a very nice sprayer. It's a very interesting scent. It's very fresh in the opening. There's an interesting pineapple note in here that adds sort of two dimensions. It has, on one hand, it has quite a lot of sweetness, fruity sweetness. On the other hand, it has quite a lot of freshness. A very interesting way to use a pineapple note. There's quite a lot of vanillic sweetness in here as well. And there's one very interesting note, which is the creme brulee note, which adds to this fragrance a sort of a gourmand feature. Very interesting scent. On the dry down, it becomes a little bit more woodsy. There's an oak moss note in here. But all in all, this fragrance feels a very interesting mix between, fruity sweetness and freshness, and some, darker notes like the creme brulee, the vanilla, the sweet vanilla. It's not overly sweet, it's not overly fresh. Maybe works a little bit better, in the nighttime, during summer. But it's definitely a fragrance that's very wearable during the warmer months of the year. Performance so far has been very good, projection has been very good, a perfectly unisex fragrance. I'm going to continue on with the Lattafa theme, although technically the next fragrance that I'm going to show you comes from a brand called Maison Alhambra, but the reality is it's a sub-brand of Lattafa. The fragrance itself is called Dark Door Sport, and this one is a clone of Dior Homme Sport. And again, actually done pretty nicely. The sprayer is a bit wonky here, but apart from that, this has pretty decent quality. Scent-wise, pretty close to the original fragrance. You get lots of citruses in the opening, lots of spices, lots of woodsy notes, and quite a lot of muskiness as well. Feels a little bit more musky compared to the original scent, but still pretty close to what you get out of Dior Homme Sport. Another very versatile, fresh, very versatile fragrance that can be worn all year round. But again, the best time to wear this one, I think, is during the warmer months of the year. Performance here is pretty decent and the price tag is pretty low. Next one that I'm going to show you comes from the house of Hamidi, and it's called Hamidi Imperial, Hamidi Addicted Imperial. It comes in this very shiny looking bottle. For those who don't know, Hamidi is a sub-brand of Armaf, and most of their scents, if not all of their scents, are actually water-based, so they contain no alcohol, which is an interesting fact to know. The fragrance itself is a clone of Creed's Millésime Imperial, and it's a very nicely done clone of the original fragrance. You get a lot of the fruity sweetness, a lot of the saltiness from the aquatic notes that this fragrance has. You know, you get fruity sweetness, aquatic saltiness, muskiness, some woodsy notes. It's a very nicely done, you know, summertime scent that feels very fresh and at the same time quite musky and sweet. Has a very decent performance, perfectly unisex, and I actually prefer it more over the you know, the clone from Armaf themselves, which is called Club de Nuit Milestone. I think I prefer Imperial from Hamidi over the Armaf fragrance. The next one that I'm going to show you comes from the house of Swiss Arabian, and it's called Simply Kenzie. This one is a clone of Tiziana Terenzi's Kirke and Xerjov's Herba Pura, a great sprayer by the way, as you can probably see. But it's a more sort of a take, not a direct clone on those original DNAs. It has more sweetness, more vanillic sweetness, more fruity sweetness. It has less freshness and less muskiness, making this fragrance a little bit more unisex compared to the original scents, which are on theory, you know, they are unisex, but they lean heavily to the, you know, the feminine side, whereas Kenzie is almost perfectly unisex. Very light, fruity, sweet fragrance with enough freshness, very easy to wear, offers great performance, and the best thing out of all is that it's ultra affordable. The next fragrance that I'm going to show you comes from the house of Ajmal. It's an original creation and it's called Evoke Midnight Edition, and I absolutely love the way that this bottle looks. You know, that color is absolutely stunning. As I said, this is a unique Ajmal creation, which is not a clone of anything, and it's a very interesting scent. It's very fruity, very musky, has quite a lot of ambery sweetness, a bit of powderness from a tonka bean note, also quite a lot of spiciness from a saffron and cardamom notes. A very interesting and unique scent that has a strong sort of an bluish type of vibe to it, you know, blue scent type of vibe to it. Performance is great, projection is great. It's a very versatile fragrance that can work great as a sort of an, you know, night scent for the summertime. The next one comes from the house of Fragrance World, and it's called Kaet, not to be mistaken with Lattafa Kaet. This is a totally different fragrance, and this is another very interesting fragrance. It's a, I don't know if it's a direct clone of anything. Some people say it's a clone of Dumont's Red or something like that. I'm not sure because I've not tried the original fragrance, but this is a very fresh, very sweet, very fruity, at the same time salty, you know, scent that has quite a lot of muskiness as well. To my nose, this feels like a very interesting mix of something like Rosassi Hawas, Paco Rabanne Invictus, with a touch of Millésime Imperial from Crete as well. But again, like, incorporates all those DNAs and becomes a unique scent. Very fresh, very easy to wear, very light fragrance that offers a very good performance for its scent profile. Also, it's very cheap and almost perfectly unisex. And the last four that I'm going to show you today will all be from Afnan and some of their sub-brands. The first one is from Zimaya, and it's called Sharaf the Club. And this one is another very interesting fragrance that carries a lot of similar vibes to something like Creed Aventus, although it's not a direct clone of Creed Aventus. Some people say that it's a clone of Aventus Absolute. I've not tried that fragrance, so I cannot tell you if that's true or not. But it carries a very similar fruity, slightly smoky, birchy scent profile. Although this feels more fruity compared to Creed Aventus, the OG Aventus feels sweeter. and just has a sort of a soapy vibe. Another very versatile scent that can be worn all year round, gets compliments, comes very nicely packaged, offers very good performance, and has a competitive price tag. I'm going to show you one more Zimaya fragrance, and this one is called Ghyom. It comes in this interestingly looking and shaped bottle, and this one is another very interesting scent. This is not strictly a direct clone of anything, but it has a lot of Mega Mare vibes, although this feels a lot sweeter compared to the OG Mega Mare. It carries some of that musky, aquatic sort of seaweed type of scent that the original fragrance has, but this has more sweetness. It's great for the summertime, works really nicely in hot weather, has a very good performance, again very competitively priced. I really like the bottle design. The next one comes from Rue Broca, and it's called Theoreme, the best known fragrance from the Rue Broca brand. This one is a clone of Bulgari's Tiger, and this is probably my most favorite clone of Tiger. Has that very same citrusy, very grapefruity opening with a lot of spiciness, lots of woodsy notes, lots of muskiness. Very similar to the original scent, although feels a little bit sweeter in my opinion. Performance here is great, projection is great, price tag is very low. It's a super versatile fragrance that just works all year round, can be worn for any type of occasion, and this one is again a compliment getter. This DNA simply works, and I'm a huge fan of the original and all of the good clones of Tiger. And my last suggestion comes from Afnan themselves, and it's called Tribute, or Tribute Blue as it's marketed in some places. This is a very unique scent that again is super versatile, works all year round, has beast mode performance, and I absolutely love the DNA. It's an original Afnan creation, and it's a scent profile that's very hard to actually explain. It has some freshness, it has some ambery sweetness, quite a lot of woodsy notes, it has some spiciness, there are some some musky notes have been used in here. At the same time feels maybe a touch bit green as well. A very unique scent, and probably the only thing that comes close to this one scent wise is from Essential Perfumes, and it's called Bois Imperial. Although it's different, but just if I can find something to compare to Tribute Blue to, that will be Essential Perfumes Bois Imperial. A very unique scent that I absolutely love, and in my experience this has been a fragrance that has been giving me quite a lot of compliments, and it's pretty much beast mode. My last suggestion for today, Tribute Blue from Afnan. And so guys, in today's video I showed you 12 fragrances, 12 cheap fragrances that work great in the summertime and also have a very good performance. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in the next one. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.